Same bands as expected from Finem. They want to keep it a fighting game purely. Like no super late game farmers, maybe one or two, but
Naga and Alk. I thought I couldn't love Finem anymore.
Yeah.
Those change the game completely when those two heroes are in the game. So
Dota becomes normal, you know.
yeah, Dota becomes.
DC are gonna not reveal anything.
I'm not gonna go for another stupid analogy about the Rubik first, Ben.
Do it.
No.
Go for it.
Come on, give it.
I've got nothing.
You brought it up already.
It's like, yeah.
Go on.
I mean, we've said not showing your hand. That's the best I can do. Oh, it's back.
Wow.
It's back. The bounty hunter that brought victory to Finem.
The stealth duel.
But brought victory half the time.
50% of the time.
They didn't go for the bat though. I think
Yeah.
that DC probably would have expected them to go for the bat, maybe expecting that they could counter with the Nyx themselves.
I think at Finem, like they see the Nyx as like a hero that's really good against the bat though. Every time they pick it against bat, and they probably feel like, why do we want to go for the bat when we think that Nyx is going to make life hard for the bat? So why not just go for the Nyx instead?
Yeah.
But then DC just don't even have to pick bat.
Yeah, they don't, but
Nyx is still good.
it's still a good hero.
Double invis though is generally frowned upon, I think.
Frowned upon.
It's frowned upon.
Why is that? Just
In
expand
the
upon
halls of Dota.
Because in Dota, the gems picked up very, very early by a good team, DC no exception, like
Right.
20, 25 minutes, and then you waste two of your most important aspects of these two heroes, being able to run around the map invisible, right?
You can see MNT's notes there as well.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. Usually you don't want to see that happen to you, like enemies picking a certain item to counter two heroes at once. But then again, it's their playstyle. They want to have a roamer. Career killer, ward placer, whatever you guys want to call it.
I think that they use the bounty more as a sort of that early game disruption stuff. He goes in there, he does courier kills, he messes with anyone in the jungle. He's just a disruptive sort of behind enemy lines sort of thing, you know.
Yeah,
It's
and
sort of-
he's the only one kind of support that can make any pickoff become more valuable. Any support kill you get becomes like a core kill because of the bonus
because of that
gold.
moolah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Purge.
Thanks, Purge, indeed. The last segment was absolutely great.
That's perfect.
So how do you think they're going to handle the bounty hunter?
Usually I would always say...
Spirit Breaker?
Yeah, Spirit Breaker. You charge and you kill him. Or...
Slardar, I think. Oh, he's been banned. Okay. And they've banned Archer as well.
Or really strong lanes?
Yeah, or heroes that are... Like, you pick beefy heroes, like Timbersaw. You have a lot of heroes that are really hard to kill. When Bounty doesn't kill heroes, he doesn't provide his team with that extra gold. But then again, like Ted mentioned, Bounty could still be that scouting hero. He doesn't have to like kill you. He's just like there to disrupt you, place deep wards and annoy you.
I think there's a lot of options though for Digital Chaos. I think even something like the Treant Protector is very good versus the Bounty Hunter. You don't really need tanky supports if you have the
That
Treant
is true.
Protector to deal with your lanes. So I think that's definitely one of the heroes that Digital Chaos have prepared for. I'm just curious to see which one of the strategies they're going to use to counter it.
Treant Protector, yeah. I like that suggestion. And you're able to just make sure that when they're speed pushing, they don't get your towers because you heal your towers. That's actually one of the heroes I find very, very interesting when to pick the hero, you know, what kind of team you pick that hero into. Like EG chose to pick that hero against VP and it worked out great for them. And we see the Ogre pick right now for Finem. So
Do you think that's because Bounty's going to be off doing things? They chuck the Ogre in to sort of solidify
the
the
lane, the
lanes a
safe
bit while
lane.
he's off?
Well, we know what the damage Blue Fat can do. The most picked hero so far in the Boston Major by quite a
More than
margin.
SD?
Indeed. Magi #1.
Oh, if we count the group stages?
This is the entirety of the
Right,
offline
right.
stages of the Boston Major, not here at the playoffs.
They have two melee supports though. I mean, it's not that uncommon. Some teams do the safe lane Ogre, but it's still very good in the lane, very good at zoning. And DC still sticking to the same game plan like the previous game. They are building a 5-man lineup. They are not going to deal with the split push. That's the thing, you're up against a Bounty and a Nyx. Whoever gets left alone on the lane, very high chance to get picked off. You want to group up, you want to just push down towers. You don't want them to get picked off with the track goal.
Yeah, and just to clarify, I have just double-checked. In the playoffs, Ted, Magi is nowhere to be seen. It seemed to be a very popular pick when people were playing those safe group stages, didn't want to show too much.
So he hasn't been played on the main stage?
Not, well, he has been, but not much
Oh,
at all.
wowzers.
Tidehunter Sniper.
That's something that they did in the group stage twice. Casting their games, they opened their draft with Ogre plus Sniper.
What's the thought process behind Ogre Sniper?
Bloodlusted Sniper.
Just a bloodlusted
Yeah,
sniper just firing damage upon everyone.
We saw VP do it. just they took it a little bit more extreme with the Bloodseeker.
Yeah,
But
and Sniper is also pretty good at defending, and you know the enemy wants to 5-man and push your tower. You're able to deal damage from a very safe distance. Very good against the Tide, the Juggernaut. They don't really have like innate closing, gap closing ability until they get a dagger. Bloodlusted Sniper could deal a lot of damage in the fights if you don't address him.
Bloodlusted Sniper with 2
With track, you know,
invisible people running around.
yeah, he has a lot of heroes that will provide distractions for him. So pretty good sniper pick here for Finem.
especially when they picked their offlaner, like Clockwork and some of the other offlaners, Bat, I think are like really good at dealing with the sniper and forcing
Yeah,
him to
Tide
come
is
to
not
you.
that good.
Yeah, Tide, he can't close the gap. Like if he blinks and ravages, like the team isn't going to be able to get to him.
So what do you think the thought process was with behind DC? It's not like it wasn't an option.
Yeah, they wanted a 5-man.
Yeah,
They didn't see the sniper
they
pick.
want to group up.
Yeah, just similar to how they picked Warlock in the first phase in the last game. They want to have more 5-man strength, especially versus Bounty Hunter, as Winter mentioned.
Trying to ravage him.
Who would you say, like, how are Finem going to fight this? I mean, what's their front line going to be? How are they going to disrupt DC from just walking towards them, just using the Nyx and shrapnel and just trying to hold them up?
And pickups, like you want to split them up, and I'm sure their last hero is going to have some sort of wave clear.
Wind Ranger.
Wow,
Yeah, that's a Weeha special though. He likes playing the hero. That hero does have a good amount of burst to kill Sniper if he gets the shackle on him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you need like a gap closing item. You need a dagger or shadow blade, some item to allow you to get close to the sniper.
Yeah. It's quite a gamble, though.
Yeah, it's a very big gamble. That hero is not the greatest in the meta right now.
Slax's most hated hero, by the way.
Most
Why?
hated.
He hates her.
What is there to hate about the Wind Ranger?
He hates her because I think he's played too many games with a Wind Ranger that does bugger all. Like, that's the
yeah.
thing. You know, you have those Wind Rangers just like, I'm going to pick Wind Ranger, does nothing.
Like, I want to be Legolas.
I mean, there was definitely a period where Wind Ranger just killed everybody in
that was
every game.
horrible.
Like, it was just
Sorry.
ridiculous.
What?
That was bad.
I'm not necessarily saying it was good.
Winter, stop flaming, please.
Okay.
We stick together.
At Finem,
Omni ban.
remove the
Void
Omni,
ban.
5-man, and DC removing the Void, which
Yeah,
is
Void would have been a good pick.
good protection for the
Yeah.
sniper. At Finem runs the safe lane Void. Like something like a good replacement for a safe lane Void would be like a safe lane Centaur.
No, I was going to
Yeah.
say
Don't they already
Centaur.
have all 3 of their cores though?
Who? DC.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at Finem
Yeah,
could
yeah.
finish up with
wow, what is this?
oh,
draft
Timber
for
Saw
DC?
again.
Timber.
safe lane Timber.
Wow, you guys said it was a gamble, but DC, I mean, this is for survival in the semi-final. This is not to get to that beautiful grand final. This is
Still.
simply just to stay afloat. You liking it?
DC will be like a 5-man draft, and the other
Okay.
team will be splitting up, trying to take scrappy fights. Same idea in the game number 1.
And at Finem did it. They did it in the first game. They did it well.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that said,
I reckon they got it to her.
okay. Well,
In
you
the
have
bag.
got Ad Finem quite literally in your pocket, so we'll see how that plays out
Right
for
here.
you. And to help guide you through this one, to really answer the question, are Ad Finem still going to go further in this tournament? It does stand for to the end, and what better end than the grand finals? We'll see if they can get there, or if DC and their kooky draft will get the casters hyped. Let's find out, though, with Gods and Capitalist.
Kooky but legendary. It's a Weeha Wind Ranger for Digital Chaos. And their backs are finally put up against the wall. They go with something that they ultimately trust the most. Combined with an Earth Spirit, we are going to see DC taking the early game control. Gods, do you feel like this is actually going to be able to put Ad Finem off a little bit?
I mean, it could. To me, it depends a lot on how well Bounty Hunter can do. If MNT can have that early game impact, if he can find abilities to contest the Earth Spirit's rotations, find couriers. I can't imagine find another courier snipe, but who knows? This guy just seems magical. If he gets the scouting information, this game can go okay for Ad Finem in the early game, but I think there's a lot of pressure on him, whereas DC have very stable lanes. They have 3 cores that should all be able to get some decent farm in their lanes. We have Wind Ranger, a classic. Resolution should do fine on the Jug. I think DC have the more kind of stable, easier to execute draft.
Maybe next time has certainly outperformed in this tournament as a 4 position. He has been probably the most disruptive player of the whole entire tournament. We'll see if he can do it again with his Bounty Hunter. I'm sure Digital Chaos are watching those games, and they'll be a lot more careful with their couriers. But maybe next time he's going to try and outplay it. Digital Chaos are going to start lining themselves up for a bottom lane push out here towards that Bounty rune. Not really giving any early information to this Bounty Hunter whatsoever.
Doug's just sitting mid. He hasn't decided which rune he wants to go for yet. He's waiting to try and get the intel as to which is going to be safer. Gambles on top, and that will be the right call. They have the Radiant Ward on that by the cliff to guarantee him this top rune, and there won't be any kind of a fight breaking out.
So Weehaw will take the bounty, Thug will take the opposing bounty rune, and we will have that 1v1. How do you think this 1v1 goes? Windranger versus Sniper?
It should be all right for both. I think it should be a bit of a farm trade. With the Ogre's influence, it gets a bit different, and of course, Bounty Hunter makes it a bit tougher for Windranger. Can't get the salve out. Is he going to just run it? I've seen him do this where he just runs high ground and gambles for it.
Yeah, that's exactly why DC pulled it back that extra little bit. They put it behind the tier 3 tower just in case.
He's made that. That was what the qualifiers when they won, that he made that play against like Team Secret or Team Liquid.
Oh God, Weehaw's going to be blowing us kisses all game long. I'm not sure about that one. Spartan sitting in lane here with the Sniper, trying to make sure that...
He's going for it.
Oh, he thinks it's too far away. Doesn't want to go for it. So maybe next time tries to go for a bottom lane. They manage to get the telekinesis into a spin here. Skylark in some serious trouble. Begins to outrun his opponents and has the impale to fall back on as well. Does manage to get ahead of that first blood attempt.
So good trade for him. The salve for the mana of the tri-lane, staying alive and getting this creep wave now to his tower. That'll be at least some guaranteed experience going his way. So nicely played by him. It does feel like Adfinum's lanes aren't all too strong. The Bounty Hunter not able to help out the lanes all too much. You've got just the perhaps top lane, which is slightly... Well, top and mid lane should be okay for them, but they're not winning hard in these lanes. There's no lane where they're like zoning anyone out. Every single lane DC is getting farm and contesting the experience, whereas Skylark's going to have a rough time in this bottom lane without any help.
Even maybe next time's influence has clearly been countered. No courier sniping, and even the Earth Spirit is going to make things rather difficult. They're going to go for a blind roll in. Misery actually misses his own boulder, so doesn't get the quick jump. Either way, he would have been off the mark. It's going to be a dust blown, dust on cooldown, and maybe next time hopes to be able to contest the 2-minute rune, but doesn't look like it'll happen. Misery.
He's happy to just get his salve out. He's like, finally, I saw the Bounty Hunter bottom, get to use my courier.
That is the one really favorable thing about Windranger in this, right, is that Windranger does not take that much early harassment from either the Ogre or the Sniper, so it's not like he was in too much danger. He didn't have to blow through a bunch of early regen and required that courier nice and quick. Weehaw taunting again. Counterward's going to be laid down as they get a bit of harassment.
What do you make of the build? The Fire Blast over the Ignite for the Ogre? That's not what you'd normally expect to see.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Maybe he's feeling like the stun is a little bit better. He's going to wait for Weehaw to pop the wind run, and that extra bit of movement speed, he wants to counter it with a hard stun.
At the end of the day, you're picking this hero for the level 4 Bloodlust, I guess. So
yeah.
Everything else doesn't matter. I've seen this guy get like a 1-1 full build and then start getting stats. That's just how he plays the Ogre sometimes.
Yeah, he knows his life. He is a walking Bloodlust, and that is all, and he accepts that fate.
Well, as it stands, his mid lane is going all right for the Wii Ranger. He's getting out CS by the Sniper, and it has been effectively a 3v1 lane at times. Misery's coming in to try and stop this neutral suicide.
Spartan will have to take the longer trek back to the fountain. Top lane, Moonmeander's going to be dropped a bit low here. Maybe next time. Already pops his head out. They're going to try and get him with the Whirling Death. Fortunately, there are a lot of magic stick charges there from Moonmeander. He's built up over the course of this lane. We haven't actually talked about the top lane too much, but that's, of course, we have to talk about mid so much. Thug gets gone on by Misery. But both back away. Still no first blood. Considering both these teams in their aggressive posture, we have an aggressive tri-lane from DC. We know Adfinum want to be able to get aggressive in the laning phase, particularly with this Bounty Hunter, but it seems like both teams are walking this sort of dance of death.
Is he going to find the... It's going to come out with the bottle soon. He's now got level 2, which means Jannat, he hasn't skilled it yet, but you want to kind of keep it options open. Shuriken toss for the ganks is a little bit better, but...
Misery going to be the target here. Does have to roll himself away. Nice block by Spartan. This will be your first blood. Now they turn their attention towards Weehaw. Weehaw's going to be forced to use the wind run. Gets himself out of there. But just as we start talking about first blood, Adfinum strike.
Yeah, so we'll get this bottle back up. Weehaw will be fine. But yeah, there's the first blood. That's going to give a nice little edge to the Adfinum supports early on. Spartan getting some nice gold for that one, considering he wasn't really getting all too much. And top lane's going pretty well. You kind of mentioned, like, it's time to perhaps talk about that. It's been a bit of a farm trade, I guess, so far, with Madara having a small edge, but Tide getting more than enough farm to kind of justify leaving him in this 1v1 matchup.
Yeah, it's a lane that Tidehunter can't necessarily do much against a Timbersaw, right? He's got physical damage coming from the anchor smash, so as long as Madara keeps up those high levels of reactive armor, we should be fine. Stun goes out in Weehaw, still has the win run though. They're just kind of forcing him to use it, and that just means 12 seconds he's kind of out of lane. Not able to really push forward aggressively. Maybe next time. Taking a couple shots there from Misery, so will Skylark. Skylark's just trying to get the easy camp pull and get whatever experience he really can afford.
Interesting to see that.
Nice kick. Ooh, maybe next time sidesteps it. Impale goes down on Saksa, just in case.
So Moon's made the long walk home, leaving his lane. Something you often do when you want to go ganking, where you're like, okay, I've got no HP mana, I'm going to walk home and then look at the lanes. Can I TP mid or can I TP bottom? And find something. If he decides there's nothing to go for, he may just go back top to keep farming. But if he wanted to stay top, he would have just stayed there because he had full HP. He's doing this more to get the mana back to use Ravage. But he's been spotted on the rotation.
Yeah, maybe next time. Lay down the wards, will suicide to Roshan at the same time. A bit of efficiency. Skylark should have a pretty good idea that this is DC. They're going to try and wrap and do things and see if they can actually catch the Nyx Assassin, but it's not going to happen. They just contest the pull instead and will go for this push. And Finem are left with the choice now. Do they actually contest this tier 1 tower push in 6 minutes?
Well, they can go for the trade too. Madara, yeah, he's not a pushing hero, but he can skip past the tower, tank the creep wave, clear it out, and look for that trade. Ideally, you want him picking up a TP, so if a dive happens bottom, he can come and help out. But the alternative option is just don't pick up a TP. They're all just ditching the bottom lane. Everyone's actually converging onto the mid lane Wind Ranger. And with an Impale, this could be a viable kill, but we is already back to safety. So yeah, it seems like they're going to take the approach where they just go for the trade.
Bottom lane, maybe next time, is soaking up whatever free experience he can get. Looks like they are going to be giving up this tier 1 tower. A kick back there at top lane. Misery is in a bit of trouble. Will manage to roll himself out of there, but Madara is just hoping to be able to, as you said, tank up and push down this tower bottom lane to begin to go on maybe next time. Maybe next time's already gotten a lot of damage onto Saksa. They're going to be able to get the double stun. They actually can kill Resolution as well. Holy cow, that a big play there from Finem.
Wow, Skylark he stepped up his play. He was one of those. He was hit or miss in like at the old Finem, like playing the qualifiers, playing other tournaments like Dream League and stuff beforehand. He was that player that would sometimes have these off games where you're like, okay, Sky, like you've died a few many times, but his play this tournament has been that of one of the best off laners in the tournament.
A stun on Moon Meander. Not much should come of this, as Moon still has both Ravage and, of course, the heavy anchor smash cutting down any damage that comes his way. But you're absolutely right. I mean, even earlier in this tournament, I think Skylark, his Bat Rider was pretty hit and miss in his initiation.
And DC, I feel like just got a bit greedy. They wanted to defend their top tier 1 tower while taking bottom. That was why Earth Spirit TP'd up top. But as soon as Finem see that, they're engaging on bottom. Like, okay, there's no Earth Spirit here. Without that stun silence, we can fight.
They get a decent amount of damage. The spin does come out, though.
There's no Omni Slash. This is dangerous. Rezo could be in trouble.
Yeah, he does have the Rubik coming in with the telekinesis. That'll put a stop to it. They have the healing ward out, and they should be fine now. Actually, maybe not. Resolution is going to be wrapped around Hot Space. You have the Ravage, barely managed to save him in time. Resolution taunting Madara. He does manage to get away. Maybe next time throws out the Shuriken, and they do finally finish him off. Madara, now he has to try and get himself away with the Timber Chain up against Moon Meander and the Rubik. The telekinesis ready to go. Madara realizes that, and that's why he's just trying to eat his way through the trees. As soon as he tries to Timber Chain, he's going to be caught. So he finds himself deeper and deeper. TP's out. Maybe next time he'll be the target instead. DC will just have to take that kill instead. But the escape of the Timbersaw is huge, as that Cords now want to die. Nice pick up by Skylark in the end, as they manage to get the Rubik in exchange. And Finem making clean exchanges here against Digital Chaos.
Just beautiful Dota. They take out Resolution. Bounty comes in. He gets a bit greedy going for the courier as well, but it pays off. He gets a courier kill, and then he goes in to help finish off the kills as well. Getting absolutely everything. They lose just one support there in exchange for multiple kills, including the Resolution Juggernaut, including a courier snipe as well. That Finem's early game has been impressive. As
the two supports appear to try and defend this tier 1 tower mid from Weehaw's aggression, but they are going to be caught by the rotation of Misery. Nice shackle shot, but big old dumb ogre, he don't feel pain. All that physical damage does nothing to him. Another power shot does manage to dodge that one, and they will keep all this damage off the tower until Thug appears.
a little bloodlust on towers as well. Good luck going near that thing this early on. Spartan doing more just his job there, sitting around bloodlusting whatever needs bloodlusting, and at Finem have got level 5 already on MNT with the Tome of Knowledge coming up. He can get that level 6 and be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, that all comes down to that top lane fight, right? Him being able to get that means guaranteed level 6 by 10 minutes. Thanks to the Tome, we'll have track kills starting up. Misery rolls himself away from that bottom lane engagement, but just trying to contest over that 10-minute rune.
Yeah, DC did manage to finish off that bottom tier 1 tower, and Finem haven't done that yet at top, although it is deniable. Interesting, DC trying to keep it alive, perhaps trying to bait some fights up there. Now that they've got a level 6 Juggernaut, they know MNT is nearby, but they don't know exactly where. Will he walk into the sentry ward?
He's just enjoying the bit of experience that he's gleaning from that camp. But the next assassin is going to be caught. Spike Carapace does go down. That could be huge. He turns around, misses the impale on the Soxa, but he'll still go down as MNT cleans it up from the right-hand side. Resolution, his spin right wears out. And Madara can come in and easily finish off that Juggernaut. Juggernaut just keeps on getting traded away in these side lane engagements. Anthem every single time seem prepared for the Juggernaut and being able to finish him off on the offset of engagement.
Madara is just getting big and once again, every single game.
Slowed down by the Gush, already hit by a power shot. This should be a very easy kill for DC, and no response whatsoever from Ad Finem. They instead claim that tier 1 tower at top.
I'd like to perhaps defend this mid tier 1 as well. That's the bigger objective, but fighting into the Ravage could be a risky proposition, as they are looking to set up Skylark in the neighborhood, but it's too late. They didn't have the numbers there and they weren't ready to fight, but could try and catch them on the retreat, but they're all converging.
They have this low health Tidehunter. They can actually get the full combination of Madara. They easily can finish him off. There it is, the Whirling Death. Misery makes his roll away. Skylark can't quite get to him with the Spike Carapace, but they can still cut him down. Madara, okay, not going to make the guess there. Misery will TP out, but it's still a fresh Bloodstone and a fresh Bloodstone charge for our Timbersaw.
Madara, to me, has been almost the breakout player of this tournament, as far as a player that you always knew was really good at his role, but he's showing up and being an absolute superstar for this Ad Finem team. Showing a lot of hero diversity as well, playing the Timbersaw this game, and DC have their work cut out for them. They're getting farm across all 3 cores, as we kind of mentioned, but no one hero is kind of standing out and pulling ahead on their side. It's the Timbersaw, who's already got Bloodstone 12 minutes in, who's going to be a big problem for them to deal with. Wind Ranger, not exactly a great matchup against the Timbersaw. You've got Lockdown, but Focus Fire just gives them all the reactive armor procs, so not going to be an easy game to deal with a Timbersaw.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like if Madara does end up going for, say, just a basic Hood of Defiance, he's going to get very close to that unkillable range, and DC are just going to have to try and dodge around him. It's not a good sign, as DC really wanted to be able to take control of this game nice and early with a quick mech on Tidehunter, a lot of 5-manning, pushing power, but this Timbersaw may be the difference between a DC being able to 5-man push into Ad Finem and Ad Finem being able to win out in these team fight engagements.
They've got a nice little Fat Ancient stack for Moon to farm, which will get him not just his mech, but probably another 1,000 gold on top of that. So they can play the economy game, which 3 very well scaling cores in the Jug, Wind Ranger, and Tide. They're not going to... I feel like the Sniper isn't as big a problem as we've maybe seen in the past, because keeping him alive is not the easiest thing in these team fights. It's not like the best saves.
Maybe next time.
Okay.
They can't actually kill Moon Meander with
Top
these
lane,
2, but they
meanwhile.
could go ahead and take all of this. They are going to be able to get the roll and the spin TP out, so both of them will be fine. Ogre's going to be caught here. Go ahead, turn around, get the Gush. They also have a Shackle Shot ready to go. They're just going to try and trade 1 for 1, but they can't even get the Ogre. He's too damn fast. With the track kill and the maxed out Bloodlust, Ogre runs absurdly quick. 475 movement speed. Shuriken onto Moon Meander brings him a little bit lower. Are they actually going to be able to do anything about this? They're waiting for another Assassinate. They might just be able to finish him off with that magic damage, but here comes the Meg, and they go in a bit too deep. The Timbersaw is here. Maybe he can get the turnaround kill. Does manage to block him out. The Shuriken goes down, but still a big win there for Ad Finem, surely, with the extra help of track kill gold, and they're going to be able to take some of these bigger Ancients.
Yeah, that's really nice for them. Madara able just to sit there, tank.
Next assassin, he appears. We are right outside of the tier 1 tower range, does get caught. Moon Meander, he TP's in, but he can do nothing to save his ally, as Ad Finem have clear control over DC's map.
We just haven't seen that big team fight from DC, yet to see the Ravage come into play, and It's been Ad Finem making all the moves. They're doing such a good job of splitting DC up using kind of the chaos factor.
Nice steal there from Saksa.
It's really hard to team fight when your opponents have Bounty and Nyx because they're always going to get the kind of vision advantage. They're able to plant deeper wards because of the Invis Bounty Hunter. They're able to scout out your heroes constantly, and unless you're kind of like predicting those movements and having sentries to snipe those annoying pesky roamers, Ad Finem will always see when the 5-man tide is coming and just avoid it. This is what you're going to do, though. You're going to smoke and catch Ad Finem by surprise.
They're going to wrap around here. Ravage ready to go. They're going to lead off with the Gush on the Skylark. Moon Meander puts himself in position, ready to go with that Ravage. He wants to be able to deal with the Timbers on the right-hand side. They get the stone onto him, and Timber will be brought down. But at the same time, they're going to lose their Rubik, and Finem will get another bounty kill off of that one.
He's already respawned, and Ad Finem will just look to take this fight now.
Yeah, with the Ravage down, I don't think there's any way that DC can hold this tier 1 tower anymore, unless maybe with an Ogre kill. Spin onto him with a shackle shot on the side. Skylark's also going to go down. Disaster strikes as Ad Finem surely were in the advantage to be able to push down this tier 1 tower, but losing 2 of their allies is going to cost them this push.
They were in the advantage. They were trying to use the Ogre to bait and set up a 3-4 hero impale from the Nyx Assassin, but that shackle from Weeha salvaging the situation, getting them both those kills, stopping the Ad Finem push and stopping what looked to be a great opening into that mid lane for Ad Finem. They had the insta respawn with the Bloodstone of Timbersaw, but they didn't get any value out of it in that fight.
A Manta almost being complete here for Resolution. He has almost reclaimed top net worth, beginning to contest that Timbersaw after that clutch kill. That Timbersaw not able to get off his suicide meant a rather large bounty going the way of Digital Chaos.
That's the thing with Ad Finem, like you can take a fight and against them and you win it handily, but they'll just keep coming at you. They are not afraid. It's almost like a slightly MVP-esque way to the game where it's like you lose a fight, well, let's just go again. Let's just keep on running at you, trying and playing this scrappy, brawling style Dota. Ad Finem lose a fight versus the Ravage. They know it's now on cooldown. They take a team on the tower.
Nice pickup. The Assassinate leads into a double damage from maybe next time. He's able to get the kill on Saksa on the way out.
Well, Skylark's in behind the tower.
Oh, they're going to be able to get Weehaw as well. He gets caught by the impale and assassinated by Thug. Now the pull up. Misery going to have to roll away. Will manage to get over the cliff. Resolution right in the middle of all these heroes. He'll take the courier. Thank you very much. TP's out. Physical damage is a little bit there from Ad Finem, but not even close to bringing down a tanky Juggernaut. So instead they turn their attention towards the tier 2. DC still lacking a Ravage for 20 seconds. Ad Finem feeling comfortable taking this fight.
It's a bold play from Rezo going for the Courier Sniper. It's the kind of play you need to just like boost up your team's morale to see a guy like Rezo go in, snipe a Courier, TP out in front of 4 heroes. That's going to at least feel a little bit good for DC after losing the Wind Ranger. Things are going to get more and more difficult for them as it's going to be a full pipe on Madara. So we're seeing more and more out of some of these Timbersaws. When you've got this early game advantage and you're 5-manning taking towers, going for these more team-oriented items like Pipe. We've even seen a Crimson Guard from WG Unity. And with a Pipe Bloodstone on your front liner, this creates a lot of space and room for your sniper just to sit back with Bloodlust and just peep people away. He's going to have a Maelstrom to kind of back it up very soon, just to 600-700 gold away from... Oh, no, he's actually already got it. Oh, no, he just needs the glove. So he's 300 gold away, and he'll have it as... Thug will become a big threat in these team fights once he's got that bit of extra magic damage to go with the Bloodlust.
Yeah, Maelstrom really is the perfect item, right? You got a huge amount of attack speed. You're going to be able to give yourself some lane push. You'll be able to shove out these lanes alongside the Timbersaw so you can get good map control. And the mid-game damage is incredible when most of these heroes are lacking any extra magic armor. Those procs are going to be able to do a whole lot. 14-8. DC are actually trying to group up here. They have the Ravage ready to go. They're going to try and take an objective in that tier 1 tower at top lane, it looks like. But as you pointed out, Ad Finem, when the Ravage is up, they can go ahead and just dodge.
Oh, look for the trades elsewhere on the map. Scanning behind the tower, not going to find anything, and it will be the dodge from them, and they're just kind of in position to scout out DC defending this. If anyone TPs to the tier 2, which is normally the first TP you'd see trying to defend this bottom lane, they will scout it immediately with either the ward or the bounty hunter behind, so it looks like a full-on trade from the two teams here. May even see both towers go down on top and bottom lane. This does help Ad Finem a bit more because these are towers near the Roche pit. They don't really care so much about these top lane towers. They're not really much more than just money for DC at this point. So I feel like Ad Finem getting the slightly better trade as far as strategic value of these towers.
Looks like you are completely correct. Well, maybe. Tier 2 for Tier 2, but DC are
Always
actually
smoking.
smoked up. They're going to try and TP in with the Juggernaut, leading things off. Then the Blink 4, then he has to get the Ravage onto 2. Already starting things off on the Timbersaw. They're trying to control him with the Silence and the help of the Earth Spirit, but a nice stun comes in from behind. Skylark hits 2. They've already picked off the Rubik, and now they're going to be able to get so much more coming for Chakram, and there it is. The Timbersaw's damage will force DC to retreat. They have so much magnetized, but it doesn't matter with that pipe. Chakram, and they caught it. Moon Meander goes down as well. The first core from DC in this fight falls, and a Timber Chain forward for them to finish off this Tier 2.
Yeah, it's where Wind Rangers is not the best matchup versus the Timbersaw. The Focus Fire giving him a ton of reactive armor, charges very fast. He may have been in trouble there if not for the Force Stuff. I was looking around like, who's going to Force Stuff? I didn't think that'd been fun, but Skylark with a first item Force helps push Madara into a better position when he's being focused in the middle of the entire DC squad. And that makes all the difference. For DC to get that kill, they need the Ravage with the Omni Slash. Last time that play worked at mid was they used Omni Slash. This time they didn't have it.
Triple TP's back at Finem. Very comfortable in their position now. They have lanes going in both mid and top, so they're going to try and shove these out. They now, after that team fight, have about a 6,000 gold lead, 5,000 experience. Everything's looking good. They're going to be able to have a Maelstrom. They're going to finish off with this Dragon Lance. It looks like he went from having Maelstrom to now being able to finish up full Hurricane Pike.
So the Jug TP, he goes for the Blade Fury, not the Omni Slash, and he TPs maybe like half. If he TPs half a second early with an Omni Slash, they could have possibly killed the Timbersaw. That to me is the play. If you're initiating on the Timbersaw, you've got to burst him down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lose the fight horribly.
Yeah, I mean, Juggernaut needs to be able to get out his damage before everyone else starts, trying to focus down the Timbersaw and we start getting those high reactive armor charges.
I mean, the other question is, should you have ignored the Timbersaw? It's one of those things where maybe DC were split in how to approach the fight, whether they wanted to go in the Timbersaw, burst him down with all 5 heroes, or you ignore the Timbersaw, take out the Sniper, take out the Nyx Assassin, who can be really problematic. Either approach could have worked, but they kind of didn't. They weren't all on the same page. Now a gem for the Tide. I think DC feeling like Finem are just pushing forward a bit too much, getting too much map control, and this Bounty Nyx duo with their invis scouting potential is causing too many problems.
Nice pickup. Resolution has his Manta and a Blink Dagger now, so maybe we're going down the mindset now of trying to put pressure on that Sniper, ignoring Madara, who's got double plate mails, a pipe, a bloodstone. I mean, I don't think you focus this guy anymore. It's just not possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, I love seeing this double plate now. It's always hilarious because now often the play is you go in him with the Omni Slash before he gets reactive armor procs, but now he's got a bonus 20 armor from the get-go. So once he's got, from the very start, you can't really Omni Slash him down, and I think now you do have to ignore him.
Next fight may be all about Roshan. Dar's almost got his level 16. It's 23 minutes in. This dude has an absurd amount of farm and experience to back it up. Their Sniper is beginning to climb the ranks into real damage here, and he's already such a hard hero to hit thanks to that Hurricane Pike. The wrap around here is so essential, but Skylark is going to be running into all these heroes. He's got the initiation onto Moon Meander. Misery comes in with a nice kick and a silence to be able to follow that one up. They manage to burst down one. Nyx Assassin gets off the spike carapace towards the end, but here comes the big Trockum combination. He brings down the Rubik, looks towards Misery next. That's going to be helped out by maybe next time as he managed to get a track onto him. They'll get that second support. Skylark once again going for the early buyback. You see this, Finem are so committed. As soon as the fight looks a little bit dangerous, they're willing to commit some of these buybacks to ensure that these early engagements go their way.
They did the same thing last game on the Nyx where they're pushing high ground, he gets picked off trying to save his carry, immediately buys back, and then they just keep on pushing. It's a team that doesn't want to have any downtime. They want to, anytime they feel strong, they want to be pushing forward, and that's exactly what using these buybacks on an offlane it does. You're not too worried about Skylark's item progression. He's got that one core item. You know if he stays, and when he comes back alive and he's alive for the fight that you win, he's going to get a lot of gold from it. So you're not overly concerned about that buyback cooldown.
DC, are they going to be able to contest this? They have the Blink Daggers. They have Ravage ready to go. They just do not have that Omni Slash. That physical damage is critical, but if they could start with a pickoff, maybe next time does get a Force Staff, that's a little bit of help. Madara comes forward, Chakram onto the two supports, going to chase away this Rubik, force him to telekinesis, but they also have the Assassinate. If they can actually just run him down, that'll already be a numbers advantage. Misery a little bit too late on the kick there.
Well, another track means they've got vision of him.
Left-hand side, they're chasing down this Juggernaut. They're going to be able to get the Shuriken bounce, and they get both. They chase down the Earth Spirit. They bring down the Juggernaut, the much more important kill between the two. And DC, they don't look at that. At Finem, they're like, okay, congrats. We don't even need Roshan now. We can just go straight for this push.
You force the fight by going for Roche, and then you don't even bother with Roche because you've taken out the Jug, who does not have buyback. He was trying to finish off his Diffusal Blade. Madara can just walk straight up with all the armor he's got. Tank the creeps, take the tower, throw in another 30 armor with the reactive, and oh boy, this gets very tricky to fight into. Sniper's just going to be sitting back, pointing away.
Couple of snipes there. Man, it is so hard to play this Rubik. Every single time he is being assassinated out, hit by Ignite, he's being pushed back. The tier 3 tower is almost gone. He has to go back to the fountain. They still have 10 more seconds until the Juggernaut is back up. DC are just kind of poking and prodding, but ultimately they can't really fight until this Juggernaut is up. They're beginning to focus down on this melee Rax, but here comes the initiation by Misery, getting out the Impale. Chakram finish them down. Misery doesn't manage to get anything off. The Tidehunter right in the middle of all this. He throws down his Ravage to blink forward. They're going for the Sniper, but Hurricane Pike, it puts him ahead of this Omni Slash, and now the initiation is gone from DC. They missed their opportunity, and now Sniper's going to be able to hoo-hoo-ha-ha his way through this. They've got the Snipe assassinate. Weehaw almost finished off. Tidehunter goes down. DC lose 3, and here comes the buyback. Juggernaut with the Omni Slash, but it's just used to save his own life. He doesn't have anything. He's gone as well. No buyback there. 4 up from Digital Chaos, but they do not have their Juggernaut to defend.
The Ad Finem dream is alive. They just keep on fighting, keep on running at DC, and they just can't get to this Sniper. He's just sitting at the back with that Bloodlust. The Maelstrom giving him the extra damage he needs, the extra range from the Hurricane Pike, and this front line of Ogre, Timbersaw, Nyx Assassin is just brutal. Anyone you go on's getting forced after round, healed up by the mech. At this point, DC are just running out of options.
Stolen Impale. Zoxa, he needs every little bit of help he can get. Rolls him back into the tier 4 towers. With the help of this stun, they get a lot of damage onto a Misery. Hope to be able to couple with that one. Jumpborn Moon Meander, actually with the help of the Shackle Shot, almost finishes off Skylark. They manage to bring down Wind Ranger though, and that is so bad. Digital Chaos, they still do not have a big damage dealer, and Madara, he's just cleaning up heroes. They're going for the back line. Thug is the target. They gush him up, trying to run him down. They get more damage out, but it's just Moon Meander against the world. All of Ad Finem are here, and Moon Meander begins to get kited around. Thug, one step ahead, daring the Leviathan to come